It's football.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of the Average Aussies podcast. I'm joined always by, as always, by the boys. I've got the big man on my right, Jake. Welcome back, mate.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be here.
That's it. I've got these two beautiful specimens to my left, James
Thanks, mate.
and B. Foss.
Good to be here, mate. We're not top of the league anymore, but still happy.
Well, it was a big round. It was a big round, wasn't it, fellas? What do we think of this
Huge
round?
Slightly disappointing for me and Jake, I think, but
For certain fans, yeah.
good round of football.
It was a good round of football. We had a bit of a call to say that the middle of the table teams is going to be a bit of a dour affair, but they turned it on for the lads.
Proven wrong, weren't we?
Lots of stuff to talk about, I think.
Yes, there
Sideline
is.
rows.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Bring back
red
the
cards.
Biff.
I think 3 red cards over the 10 games.
Let's not talk about today's.
As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Our socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'll put all them in the bottom as usual. And our fantasy league, that code will be down the bottom. So please join because we've got a couple of people joining in. The more the merrier. So
Yeah, welcome, Gus and John.
yeah, welcome. So boys, let's kick it off. Let's get into the.
Let's do it, mate.
There were some big games. Do we want to start with the big games or do we want to start with the first game of the round? What do we reckon?
Maybe the big games.
Yeah, let's go through the big games.
You want to go for the big games?
Let's go through the big games.
Start with
Well,
yours.
Well, no, I'm going to start. I'm going to throw us a curveball. Let's start with United.
Hard not to.
Let's start with the cellar dwellers.
What a first half.
They're really making my prediction of third place look absolutely stupid, aren't they?
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
It's been pretty tough for them down there. Like it's just not happening for them.
It's really not. I had big hopes for them in a bad way because I hate them. But
Yeah,
anyway,
well.
with Ten Hag at the helm, I really thought they're gonna do something here. But they look worse than they have in a while.
I think it was surprising for everyone. We thought they were bad round 1, but 4-0
In the first
to
half.
Brentford.
Yeah, as Jake said, like in the first
Yeah.
30 minutes, like 35 minutes or whatever, like
To me, that team they just have zero confidence now.
Brentford
Like,
outran them by 12 and a half Ks.
That's the thing. Brentford wanted it more.
Yeah.
And United just didn't. And as I said, I think that they're shook. Like that second goal when De Gea tries to play it into Eriksen's feet. Like if you watch the footage, De Gea receives the ball. He looks left and right. They're getting closed down. So do you pass it like to the guy directly in front of you who's got a man shutting him down?
Nope.
No, like you put your foot through it. But I think he was shook from conceding that first goal, and he thought, I don't want to make another mistake and just hoof it, and then we're on the back foot, and he's tried to play it to him, and
Yeah.
it's just, to me, that is a player with zero confidence playing that pass.
and that's the other thing too, like a player of like that profile, like when it's not working out the back, it's like I understand, like because I feel like United are in a very similar position to what we were 2 seasons ago. 1 season ago, look, they're 2 games in, bottom of the table. We were 3 games in, bottom of the table.
Yeah.
So I've got like a little bit of sympathy for them because it's not the end of the world, but like displays like that aren't what you want to see
No.
in the second round. But
No.
as
You
I-
were versing big teams then, too, I
yeah,
remember.
that's the other thing. Like we lost 2-0 to Brentford at home. They were the first game up, like back in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas they've gone to Brentford. They're like Brentford, are all right. They're a well organised side.
Definitely. But they I don't know, it's United. Like, it's Man United. Like,
And-
You can't, like, that can't stand.
And-
Like, the fans, the supporters.
and yet again, just looking at the players on each team sheet,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be happening.
No.
And that's no disrespect to Brentford, like, whatsoever, but that should not be happening.
No, and as that was my point, like trying to play out from the back, right? First of all, what the hell is the go with Maguire or Martinez taking the goal kick and then passing to De Gea?
Yeah.
How is that like how much faith they have in Maguire? Like they don't want him anywhere near the ball. Like you just tap it off, son, and like we'll get the rest going. Kind
we'll
of thing.
make it happen.
And that's where it comes back to what you said. Like they've gone each way. Eriksen's getting closed, and De Gea has seen that. And he's thought, I've got to play out from the back, and he's played it. No,
Yeah.
that's where, as a senior player, you're like, it's not working this time.
Yeah.
It's going long.
But a confident player who believes in his abilities and stuff will make that decision and just hoof it.
Yep.
and be okay with it and go, nah, reset. He's gone, oh, shit, like,
Yeah, if
I've
in
already
doubt-
conceded a shit goal, like, we're down,
Yep.
like, we're trying to hang on to the ball here to get back into the game. I better play it.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, to me, it's just a lack of confidence
Yeah.
now. And I think they really have to go back to basics.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
And they're forgetting the old, if in doubt, put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Try and play it out.
And I think that's resonating to the team too.
Yeah, 100%.
It is their fan. I think their fan union or something put in a full written complaint.
Yeah,
to
Glazers
the board,
out.
to the Glazers. Yeah, I know that's Premier League fans are always whinging if you
Yeah,
don't win
love to
if you
blame
don't
it on the
win.
owners.
But I
Yeah.
think that the actual media over there are
There'll be
actually
a message behind a plane going across Old Trafford when we hopefully
God.
beat them next round.
Yeah, Ten Hag might be the first gone.
Well,
Honestly.
Wow.
Imagine
Paddy
that.
Power's paid out.
Yeah.
Paddy Power in England have paid out.
That's
that
ridiculous,
Ten Hag
eh?
will be the
Mind
first
you,
manager.
they did pay out on City to win, which ultimately they did in
But
December last year.
Yeah.
Like, they do that because then you go, oh, I got paid out. And then you bet more money.
Put it
Wow,
back in.
Paddy's,
obviously.
Paddy's crazy.
So,
but
like,
that
it's
was
not,
him,
you know.
But still, that's pretty crazy. That
Yeah.
like,
mental.
yeah. Well, he might even walk. Like he just like there's nothing doing there. There's nothing.
Well, no one wants to go
Nothing
there.
doing.
No, and there's
Their
there's nothing up
transfer
there.
period was barren.
Ah,
They do
exactly.
anything?
No, well, they've got 4'0" Martinez. We were going to buy him, right? We were going to
Yeah.
sign him and play him inverted on the other side
Yeah.
as a what does he play? Usually left back or right back, one or the other. We were
Like,
gonna-
he's been playing left centre half for him, I think.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
left centre half, but he's not a centre half.
He's not, but
Well, there you
No,
go.
I'm pretty sure he's a left back, and we're
great.
going to
Okay.
buy him and play him as right back. Like invert him is the new term running through football at the moment.
yeah,
Ooh.
right. So they can cut in.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So, but they've gone and like you've put Martinez into the Premier League, into the toughest league in the world.
Yep.
He's friggin' 4'0", playing next to Maguire, who can't use his feet as it is. And then you say, all right, not only do you have to defend these like Chris Woods of like the Premier League
Yeah.
on top of you, just standing
Yeah.
and heading it off. You've also got to try and play out the back with one of the worst football players in the league next to you. Like, have a go, mate. We'd like
Tell us
you.
how you really feel.
Yeah, well, it's true. Am I not right though?
No,
Oh,
100,
mate,
yeah,
yeah, 100%.
definitely right. The thing with Maguire is, and there's been analysis, like this isn't new, but like at Leicester, they played compact. He had a couple of holding midfielders in front
Three
of
at the
him.
back, eh?
He had to defend. He
Yeah.
could do it. At United, they're stretched. He's like Christian Eriksen, I'm pretty sure, was playing like center of the three midfielders as a playmaker, not even as like a defensive mid. And suddenly you're like relying on Maguire to be like Van Dijk. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Nah.
And I think that like Ten Hag needs to like realize that, and they need to realize that they either play to Maguire's strengths because he can defend,
You
Yeah.
can defend, but in a 3, when you play a 3 when you can't defend.
or even like a 2 with 2 midfielders that's sole job is
Screen.
to protect and screen.
But
But
Ericsson
who are they
can't
gonna-
defend. Ericsson
Nah,
is not.
he's not,
brought
he's
in
not
to
there for
defend.
that. No.
Fred's not like who else? Like McTominay, he's throw him in the bin. Jesus,
But
like,
they either need to change how they're playing to suit who they have. I think that's what Ten Hag needs to realize. Like, he either needs to change formation and tactics to suit what he
Should've
has,
stayed at Ajax.
and just try to like settle in, and then when he gets to players to play how he wants to play, start doing it, or he like needs to like just sack Maguire
Yeah.
and
Well-
not play him. If you want a ball playing centre half who's comfortable in a 2, it's not Maguire.
What was
No.
alluded to that he wouldn't be captain before.
yeah, they did mention
And then
that, didn't
they've
they?
reneged on that, and he's back to captain. And look, they've
There's major
been
dramas
abysmal.
in that dressing room. We all know my thoughts on Ronaldo.
It's great to see.
Yeah.
I'm not pinning it all on him, but like there's just
contributing.
there is no team
cohesion,
camaraderie
no.
there.
Nah.
They're not running
Not at
for
all.
each other.
No,
They don't
exactly,
care.
yeah. Well,
like
that's
Luke
what-
Shaw, when he
Oh.
tried to come back, he just gave up.
Well, Jose Mourinho come out and said about him that he's just not up to standard to play. Like he doesn't keep his fitness up. Like, and he's just proven everyone right.
He,
like,
he had a good back half of the season last year, I think it was.
yeah, but
He got back into the team, played all
he got-
right.
that ball by Tony was unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
mind
that's
you, like
magic.
hard to defend like a ball of that caliber.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time, he backed himself to have the pace and just got outgunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and that back to my point, like you want to play out from the back, as you were saying, you need midfielders. That's my thing. You need a midfield that can screen you and
Yes.
do their job properly.
Yeah.
And if
Absolutely.
and if you don't have that midfield to do the job properly, then
You're playing with fire every time you do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
your backs
Every
are just
single
under
time.
the pump the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got a lot of work to do, I think.
And they're out of the frying pan into the fire. They got Liverpool
Yeah,
this
look,
week.
Not that
that's-
we're in the greatest of form.
No, but
Hopefully we don't
It's
trick them into
Liverpool.
coming into some form.
Nah,
If they can't beat Brentford,
yeah, well, that's true.
it's going to be a bloodbath, I think.
Well,
Oh, you're putting it on us now. Jeez, calm down. 1-0 win and I'll
trying to get the video
Yeah,
commentator's
so-
curse
Yeah,
going
I'll
on.
be stoked with a 1-0. Although, in saying that, if we want to move on to the Liverpool
Yeah,
game,
let's go. Let's after this morning.
sounds
We're
good.
recording it on Tuesday evening on a school night, so
Yeah.
we could get the Liverpool game in. So yeah, let's hear your thoughts on what went down.
well,
Conceding first.
Well,
That seems to be a trend for Liverpool. at the
but you know
moment.
what? In saying that, we like the first 20 minutes, we looked fantastic,
Incredible, yeah.
dominated them. I think what happened was they settled into the game based off being able to keep us out.
Yep.
And then Zaha in those sorts of games is always a threat.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got pace, he can finish. Like it was a ripping finish that he did.
Yeah.
And a really good ball from Eze, or that's how you say his last
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think after that, we were probably a bit shook for confidence from Fulham. And then we just
Yep,
we
totally
dropped
agree.
off. They grew after their goal.
yeah,
Second half, we came out looking good. And then Darwin's gone and
yeah, that's
let the whole entire team down.
as Klopp said after the game. That's just something that he's going to have to work on because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are going to know that he's going to retaliate. So
Look, it's-
centre backs are just going to nag at him.
It's
Just get him.
England. Like
Yeah.
that is what
50 odd-
centre halves do.
50 odd minutes at Anfield, you're going to cop it heaps worse.
Oh,
you know?
100%. And like to react like that,
On your debut at
yeah,
Anfield
like
in the Premier League.
obviously passionate, wants to like do well, probably getting the shits at
Wants to
being
headbutt
niggled
people.
for 50 minutes. But you can't do that.
No.
Nah.
You got to rise above that and stay on the pitch because,
It's your teammates.
Yeah.
You're doing it for, not like
Yeah.
you got to throw your own ego out the window.
yeah.
And
So
every game matters. We've seen Liverpool and City take it to the line.
Exactly.
So if
So
you
true,
do one
Dave.
stupid thing,
Yeah.
and
That's
exactly
you
right.
lose
You
by a
pay for
point,
it.
you can't do that in the
and
Prem.
it's not just that game. Like we did well to come back in that game. I'd like 1-0 down.
Well,
10 down to 10 men at
Yeah.
55 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, great. So to come away with a 1-1, sort of like, okay, better than a loss.
Thanks to a
But-
worldie.
Yeah, but it's not just that game that we've lost points in because of Darwin being an idiot.
No.
Like he's
No,
out for
no,
3
no.
games now. We're already
Yeah, I didn't even-
depleted
I didn't even
massively
think about
with injuries.
Yep.
And now he's out for 3 big games that we've got coming
Yeah,
up. Like he's
so
let the
true.
club down massively, but I do think he'll learn from it.
Hope so. Yeah.
You can only hope that he can.
He has to. Yeah, he
Yeah.
has to. My big thing with Liverpool is I don't want to,
The atmosphere.
don't get me started on that. Well, it was kind of you're on edge, and
We're trying to prove you right, eh?
well, but yeah, like to be fair, like just listening to it, like it was kind of a bit dull when you were.
It
like,
was.
when
Yeah, it
you-
was. It was uncharacteristic for Liverpool.
Yeah,
of,
I think
you
you're
know,
right.
the last few seasons.
You said the team was shook. I think the crowd was shook too. They're kind of like, "What's going on
Yeah.
here?" Like,
But you see that in terms of atmosphere. Like my thought on it is sometimes like and you can watch any game and it gets quiet, but I prefer like an atmosphere that ebbs and flows with the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like some clubs,
I
it's
also
just
like
like their
4-0s
idea
and
is we just
complete
need to
domination.
sing for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's all well and good, but then their team scores and they don't stop singing or
yeah,
doing the Ponzi with their backs to the crowd because like, no, this is what we do. It's like react to the game.
yeah,
Right.
I guess so. What I was going to say was the fact that you guys can go down to 10 men and still dominate a game shows how you're still very like Crystal Palace obviously still feared you. Like
Yeah.
they went down to
Yeah.
10, they just sat back, like let
Yeah.
you play. It's like,
It didn't look different. In fact, we improved after he went off.
and to
Agreed.
me, like
Yeah.
Vieira as their coach, he's like a real dogged manager.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been saying, "Go for it, go for it, like, go."
I noticed he took RU off. RU was the one that was like firing them up, you know.
Yeah.
There might have been
he was
a chance.
liable to get sent, I think. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that's why
but
Robertson was
I
taken
think
off
that's
as
when
well.
they lost. They lost any kind of ascendancy, and then it was just someone can jag a goal.
And I think back to the like Vieira, I think he's gonna do that to teams, like get them
Yeah.
to rile people because they did
Yeah.
it last year. They do it to us all the time. They just in our faces. They're
Gets
trying
them-
to
gets
rile
them
you
up.
up.
Well, that's
they're-
what he does in
They're
midfield.
smashing
Yeah.
you in tackles,
Or
like
did in
fouling
midfield.
you and stuff like that. Yeah, he was amazing at it.
Yeah, that was his job.
One of
in
the
that
one of the
Arsenal
best.
team.
the
But I
Premier League
just
scene,
I
you
just
know?
found it crazy that you could go down to 10 and they just sat off you like, no, we don't want to borrow this. We'll just defend, and you can't do that. Like,
No.
No.
you just especially
Against
like,
Liverpool at Anfield,
like
yeah.
you're just inviting them in. Like,
Yeah.
take the ball, go
Yeah.
forward, and like by the end, it was you guys taking the ball and just being like, well, we don't care if we lose here. We're just going for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were throwing people for at the right moments too.
Yeah.
And that's probably what makes you like a world class team.
Yeah, and just on a final note, and then we can move on. I think that why we've struggled maybe a little bit is that losing, like we've changed the way that we've played a bit because Diaz is a different player to Mane and Darwin is a very different player to anyone that we've had in a long time. And I think that the reason that we didn't do too well in those first 55 minutes when he was on the pitch was because the number one option was just like try and get it on his head.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Anderson was just winning every single
he was good for them last
cross.
week
And then
too.
when he went off, it's like we suddenly went, oh, let's play it on the ground again.
Yeah.
And then Diaz like shreds five
Yeah.
people and scores a screamer rather than just whipping it in because he's like, oh, I'll try and hit Darwin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's good to have that option, but we can't forget how we've played and had success for 5
Very
years.
true.
And Darwin's trying to play last man a lot,
Yes.
which I like from a striker, but we've played forwards, not a out-and-out striker.
Well, you haven't
so-
had play with an out-and-out striker.
Yeah,
for
so
how
that's
long
going to
now?
be a bit
So-
of a learning curve as well, I
Yeah.
think.
All right. Well, do we want to go to the good red side of London, or do we want to go to the shit? I don't even know what colour you call that, chartreuse or what?
Well,
Where
we'll
are we
start
going?
with Spurs. I think. I think people are more interested
Save
in
the
this
best
game
for
than the
last,
Arsenal
eh?
game.
Nice, fellas.
Are we going to talk about Southampton Leeds last, are we?
All right, so for this game, a shitload happened. So I reckon we talk in timeline because
All right,
otherwise it's just going to bounce around. Like
You take us where you want to take us.
Sounds
Steve.
good,
Right,
mate.
so-
Sounds good.
For the first 5 minutes, we started hot. I think I was so excited. Got up 1:30 on a Monday. I'm like, here we go. After 8 minutes, Chelsea just took possession of the ball, and they had possession of the ball for 90 minutes. So 19th minute, Koulibaly scored, screamer off the corner. I was really disappointed in the marking.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know
just
why
floating
he
down the
was
back,
free.
wasn't he?
And he
Complete
had a
lack
chance to
of-
do it again. The
Yeah,
next corner, I
exactly.
had,
Yeah,
he
no
did
one
too.
marked him. He's a beast.
Is this because Conte employs like zonal marking, not man to man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
that's
can
tough.
see it. They take
That
the area.
could-
Don't like it.
It's really frustrating.
If it works, it works. But when it doesn't
Need
and
to
that
be in
happens,
tune,
it
yeah.
looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, why wasn't he marked?
That was us like 3 or 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was us for a point
Yeah,
too.
It's
like,
terrible. I hate it.
Yeah. So after that, the next, I guess, good thing that happened, Højbjerg scored. Screamer from outside the box.
Doesn't score many, does
Foul.
he?
in the box.
No, he doesn't. So I don't think this was a foul, even though it happened 70, 80 yards down the field, which means it didn't lead to the goal. Chelsea got to reset after that win, and then it moved up the field, and then they conceded. So,
You're talking with habits.
Havertz's tackle for me is a foul all day.
so he took the ball. If you can see it from the front angle, and the one the referee was right next to, he pointed at the ball. He's like,
It's all
the
well and
ball.
good to take the ball, but you can't like take the players too. Like you can't come from
Yeah.
behind, take a player, and then the ball.
I think we see if they take the ball, especially a defender's challenge, they give the right to the defender
They've
to be
been-
able to go to ground and win the ball.
Yeah, that's all well and good. I'm happy for that, but I don't think you can come from behind a player and take the ball. That's been the rule for how long? You
Well,
can't.
I think like it wasn't the rule and then it morphed into that. And I feel like being 30 years of Premier League this year, maybe they've looked back in some of the archives at some of the old
Yeah.
games and gone, God, that was good. That was passionate. Because there seems to be like they're letting a lot more.
Don't get me wrong.
Go.
It's not a
Vinnie
bad like
Jones like stuff.
it's a good tackle to make, but it's been a foul for however long, and now all of a sudden they haven't
It's
even.
just not this
there's no
year.
prerequisite to say, look, you can do this now.
Yeah.
Like everyone's up in arms. Tuchel's up in arms because of the foul. Don't get me wrong. They had time to reset. Like
Just wants the Biff
Jor-
Conte.
Jorginho could have put that ball out, and I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do, but he like.
The commentators were saying that the ref was letting a lot go. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a derby or because it's the premium Sunday evening game in England, but they were letting it go. Honestly, they were.
Yeah.
I loved
think
it.
there's actually been a directive to the referees to not like blow for every little niggle that happens on the
Yeah.
pitch, which is good because it was getting
More
a little
free-flowing.
bit sort of La Liga
Yeah, and
like.
if it wasn't a goal, it wouldn't have been shown once in the media. So I'm happy that it did. The next thing that
Surprise,
happened, right? This actually happened before the Højbjerg goal. Mendy got a yellow card for time wasting in the 63rd minute. So this is why I
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
another thing that they're
I don't have
increasing
any
this year.
empathy for Chelsea. There was 2 dubious calls around the goals, but they were time wasting 1-0 up at home after 63 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
need
a
to
fan.
go and try to get a second goal, especially in a derby.
Absolutely.
But Tuchel likes to go 1-0 ahead. I think they've kept the most clean sheets, some record over the last 2 years. So that's what, like, I feel bad a little bit for Chelsea fans because I know how that feels when calls don't get made and then you concede. But you were time wasting after 63 minutes trying to keep a 1-0 lead at home in a derby. So No empathy.
I don't like it, but you've made a good point.
That is a very good point.
I don't like it at all, but we'll take it.
The next thing that happened, James's goal. Really poor defending again. I'm not sure if it was on Royale's side, but he's not good enough. If we want to come first or second or win a cup this year, we need to get rid of Royale.
And Richarlison playing around with the ball, like in your own half. You can't do that either.
Mate, I don't know. I like Richarlison.
Good finish by Reece James, though. Well taken.
He
I
can
must
finish.
Say. He can finish
He
for
can.
a
Nice
back.
set up by the T-Rex and Sterling as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now, the big moment, which I'm sure everyone saw on Optus Sport Monday morning, was there was a hair pull in the box on a corner. So Romero...
That'll fucking do, mate.
So Romero...
Sorry.
So once again, yes, it's a foul. You'd be absolute just blind love if you didn't see that as a Spurs fan. But it didn't lead to the goal. It was a non-foul call with another corner. So it's not like it happened and then that player that fouled him scored a goal.
No, but he should have been sent off.
Yeah.
He should have been on the
apparently,
field.
I read about it. There'll be no further action taken because in the laws of the game, hair pulling is not disallowed.
So that's violent. That's not violent
so it's
conduct.
not violent conduct.
I don't-
But
I'm not-
Darwin touching old mate by 1 millimeter is violent. You know?
I don't understand. Like, how can that not be classed as violent conduct?
I
There's
don't
no
know.
way.
That's just what I read.
It was a definite foul, but
Objection.
he's always got options.
It was a
He could-
definite red
He
card.
could shave his head.
Oh,
A bit like you, mate.
So after that, the corner came in and Kane scored 96-minute goal. So
Kane, wasn't that Reece James?
no. Oh, well, you reckon? No. Goal.
yeah, either way. So
well, Kane
Give it
said
to
in
Kane.
the post-match that it's great to come out and score a 96-minute winner. Quick math.
So overall, they dominated, but I don't have sympathy for them because they time wasted. A massive point for us going to the bridge and scoring the 96th minute. Huge.
Yeah, well, I don't think it should have happened anyway.
Can we
You
talk about the two blokes on the touchline that looked like they'ed had a skinful at the pub and wanted
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please. So
Want to
2
whack
red
on?
cards. I love
He
it.
doesn't like a fucking hand squeeze, does he?
to look at me.
Shake it like a man, bro.
They look at me. Yeah, I'd love that. Love that passion.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we've missed that for a while. We had Jose, who's obviously a meme, but to see him do that at the return to the bridge and
Jose
show that
Mourinho.
he's really Tottenham now. He's not a Chelsea sympathiser. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Well, they had a bit of a clash before that, didn't they? Got in each other's face after the goal was scored.
Yep. So I think it was the first or
Tuchel.
second goal they got in each other's face. And then when Tuchel
when
got ahead, he walked
Højbjerg
past.
scored.
He didn't walk, bro. He was running the 100-meter
Yeah.
sprint in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He was
Did you see
flying.
what Conte posted
On
that
Instagram?
photo on Instagram and said like, "Lucky I didn't see you, I would have taken you out," or something like that.
He said a trip would have been worth the cost or something like that.
Yeah. So good. That's why we love the Premier League. So.
100%.
But
Like, I know both managers were like fine after it. Like Tuchel had a wry smile on his face the whole like interview afterwards.
Well,
like,
he went in the press conference flexing his muscles. Because
yeah, exactly.
Look at
so
me.
I think it's good. It adds to the drama and like it's,
the thing
yeah.
I like about Tuchel is he's happy to go and talk about it, whereas
Yeah.
Conte's like, what it is, what it is. Oh, you
Yeah,
know.
Conte
Tuchel's
and,
like, I'll just squeeze his hand. I said, look at me in the eyes when you want to shake. And I agree with that. Don't go and shake a hand and like,
Yeah. Be a
if you,
man.
if you don't want to shake his hand, don't shake his hand. That's my point.
I think we're questioning if Conte's a man. He's a Premier League winner. He's a man.
I'm just
all right?
saying, like, I can understand why Tuchel did it, and like,
Yeah.
It's don't get me wrong, it's great for the game. I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
It's now it's a big rivalry for you guys. Like,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to come to the
You
toilet
always see
seat and
managers shake hands after games if it's a fiery, and they don't look each other in the eye and go, "Thank you, sir."
Yeah, they just
so
get
to
it done.
call it out as like, "Oh, he's not a man. He didn't look me in the eye." I did not like that.
I'm not saying he's not a man. Don't be so
no,
sensitive.
I didn't
Yeah.
like that Tuchel did it. I didn't like.
I don't
Tuchel.
think-
I don't think Tuchel was
I
saying
don't-
that. I
you
was
know
saying
what
if you
I
want to
think?
shake my hand, look me in the eyes.
I think
like,
that they were both still fired up.
Yeah,
and
100%.
like it kicked off over nothing. It was. I don't think that Tuchel really
Stop holding
gave
me
a
back,
shit
stop holding
that he
me back.
didn't look at him in the eye. I think he just wanted an excuse to like go at him again. And Conte was more than happy to partake because they're passionate. They love their football. It's good to see.
Yeah,
It is.
agreed.
Let's be honest, it's no Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho,
Ah.
the tie pullers and the butchered, and but I mean,
trying.
it creates a good rivalry for the league now. Like you are
does.
already like South London, North London, like that rivalry, but.
Well, the Battle of the Bridge was that a couple of years ago.
2017. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's built you up to
yeah. Cannot wait till they come to White Hart
and
Lane. It's gonna be awesome.
Who do you have next
3
week?
point lane.
Who do we have next week? We've got the early game. Is it Villa?
Wolves.
No, it's Wolves. So yeah,
At home.
I'll talk about that when we get to that.
Tasty.
Yeah, because I don't think he's played your best. So
We played terrible.
yeah,
We were terrible.
So
But-
that's why you'd be stoked with the point then.
Yeah,
Hey?
similar
Way to
to
Chelsea,
you,
you play terrible and get a point. It's good. It's a 0.1, not 2 points lost.
Yep.
all right. Well, we've only got 24. We're up to 24 minutes, so we might take a break, and then I'll come back and talk about the Arsenal game. So I've got more time because I need a lot of time, boys. All right, we're back. We're going to go into the Arsenal-Leicester game, the biggest game of the round, I would say.
That's just
Of course you
not
would.
true.
Well, did anyone watch it? Did anyone?
I watched the first half.
Because it would have been an amazing game to watch as a neutral.
It was a good game.
I'll
give you that. It was a good
an
game.
excellent game. But no, I think we played amazing, like really well. We fielded the same team as we fielded last week, which was
You had to, didn't you, though?
Which is a great sign. I love that we can play the same team back to back.
Confidence in your team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabriel Jesus opening his account with an absolute, I would say, worldie. Took a little bit of a deflection, but just the liveliness of Jesus.
He's looking the goods, isn't he?
In and around the box. It's just, we've been crying out for that and we finally got it. Like, you've seen a little bit of it at City, but I feel like he's playing a completely different role at Arsenal.
He's got freedom, man, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just getting the ball, he's taking people, he's going for it, and he's lifted the players around him too.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
So Martinelli, I think, in my opinion, Martinelli was close to being man of the match too. His physicality, he's brought his physicality up so much in the off season.
Hasn't he? He must have been hitting the gym because he's it's just, and it adds so much as a player.
Yeah.
If you can not only be explosive in pace, good on the ball, but if you can be strong on strong on the ball, not just fancy with your feet,
And
but strong on
they
it.
reckon he trains the absolute house down. They said he trains like it's his last ever day of playing football every day.
No
That's
James
good.
Milner there.
No, he's better. That's right. Anyway, so
James Milner is 37.
So Gabby with Jesus with the worldie to start. And as I said, Martinelli, he's just giving Fofana a hard time out there.
Yeah.
Fofana had one good tackle on him to start with, and that was it. He was just running right, and then Jesus on that side. And it felt a little bit like Saka was off his game, but he wasn't. It's just that the other side's now doing so much more that...
It doesn't have to rely on just...
Yeah,
Saka
it's as you
everywhere.
said with Kane last week, he's not the sole operator now. Last season, it felt at times it's give the ball to Saka and hopefully he can make something happen. And
He's
now,
the only thing that we can use.
yeah,
That's a sign of a good team, though, isn't it?
Oh, our front three are amazing. I'm so stoked with it.
How
Jesus, sorry, Nuno. Jesus has got something to prove almost. I know when you have Orba there, he was a bit of a star player, but he didn't have the want, I think, that Jesus has.
Yeah, I think what's happened, and I think you saw it happen at Liverpool with Klopp, and if United give Ten Hag the time, it'll happen there.
Yeah.
Arteta's methods, his coaching style, what he wants in that team is coming through because he's been there for 3 seasons now?
About 3 seasons, I'm pretty sure.
And these things take time, and so I think that's probably what you're seeing and why they've seemed to have improved so much.
Yeah, and he's got his own team now. He's cleared out all the dead wood, got rid of everyone, got rid of the snitches as well, which is good. That's why they reckon our transfer business has been so good because no one knows anything about it because he's gotten rid of all the people that were... But yeah, and he's got his own team. That's clearly Arteta's team now. So now this is where he has to go on with it.
Because surely you can't be judged on an inherited team, though, can you?
No, you can't. And it does. As you said, it takes time to get the team that you want.
It does.
It's not something that you can do in one.
But it's not even just
window.
about buying the players.
No.
It's about teaching those players the methods of how you want to play, things that you want to do. And I don't think we and other people realize the level that they go down to in coaching.
No.
They will coach you down to
It's psychological.
you're in this little quadrant of the field in this situation, and this is what the whole team needs to do to get out of it and turn it into a positive.
100%, because I've been obviously watching All or Nothing, the Arsenal thing, and one of the episodes he's got
Amazon
him in
Prime.
He's got him in the team room, and he says he gets him to memorize 2 formations. And he's like, you've got 45 seconds to memorize these formations. And then he asks them all, and he's like, which one did you memorize? And they're only the left side. He said, did anyone get the right side? No. Why did you go in to get the left side? Because that's what we play in training. He's like, that's right. So we're playing it, so we know it. That's why the training's so important.
Yeah.
So you can do both. You can switch from both and see it all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. That's the only little glimpse you get into the coaching side of things, how. But they all say he's just so switched on and like into it, like he knows so much
Yeah.
about it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, maybe they're finally grasping that concept.
They are
now too,
100%.
you know?
That's why that interplay, like we're playing one touch football in some parts. Like it's so good to watch because he's got that Pep style of organisation.
Yeah.
But it's like once you get in that final third and in that box, it's yours. And they're
Still a bit open.
and they're playing that
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger like beautiful
still a bit
style of
exciting.
football.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
just
great.
like, yeah.
It's the culture of the team as well. Like if you're with a manager for 2 or 3 years, you start to see his impact on your career
Yeah.
as well. Want to play for him more rather
Yeah.
than just, there's this new manager that's come in. Yeah, he's got a good style, but I'm just going to play for myself sort
What
of
was
thing.
good with us about the City players too, they all knew Arteta, knew how good he was, wanted to come over.
Oh, that's massive. Like Zinchenko and Jesus coming over, like
Yeah.
half of that's probably down to just Arteta being there.
Yeah, exactly.
And they would have had a relationship with him from City.
100%. And Jesus got his second not long after from a corner. So we scored 15 goals from corners since the 21-22 season, which is the most in the Premier League,
Wow.
which is insane to think where we come from, where we didn't know what we were doing in set pieces 2-3 seasons ago. Now we're just banging in goal. Like when we get a corner, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
we could
We've got a
score
chance here, yeah.
Yeah, like it's awesome. Ramsdale, he's got to work on his decision making when it comes to, because luckily VAR overturned it because it wasn't a pen. I don't know if any of you seen it.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So Vardy was searching for that massively,
Yeah.
and you can see at the last second
Like all
Ramsdale
strikers,
pulls
mate.
out and Vardy's like leans into him to
Yeah.
brush him. But my thing is like VAR overturns it. Is it not then a yellow card for
Yeah, it
diving?
should be. Simulation, mate.
yeah.
That's where I was like, I can only put it down to that they're like there's contact, but it's not enough
I
contact
think that's
to
the
warrant.
thing. I don't think it was really clear either way, but it was probably more clear that it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
But then looking at it, it wasn't like a clear cut dive.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
I still think
He-
we're a few years away from saying
Yeah.
that.
He just needs to work on that. Like I can deal with like the nervy moments when he gives the ball away, like passing, because he was bought to be like that.
Yeah.
Ball at the feet and
Played
just
it
hammering
out.
these passes, and sometimes
Yeah.
one's not going to go in the right spot. It
Yeah.
happens with all of them, Edison.
But
Alisson.
other times he might get an assist, mate. you
That's
know?
the other thing. He almost got one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure on the weekend, but
No Allison, but
And then Saliba put the own goal in. The crazy thing about that was, like, we were talking about atmosphere. You called us the library last week. Honestly, man, I have never, like, the TV for, like, from start to finish, it was rocking. Like, because I watched the game, like, full volume. So I was like, I'm in it.
Turn it down. Oh shit. Fuck.
And new songs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, but William Saliba scored their own goal. And they all started cheering him, chanting his name, chanting his
Well,
name.
that's good. That's
and
what you
then
want.
Next phase of play, he received the ball, and they all like stood up, gave him a massive round of applause. And he, to his credit, he played on from after that. He just completely forgot about it.
yeah, but that's huge though. Like
'Cause
you want.
That's why they call it like a 12 man, because that's literally what like a team can like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fans can do
Oh, it was-
for a team.
It gave me goosebumps. Like just the atmosphere. Like I know I'm watching it in Australia, and I'd kill right now to be there in the stadium for
Yeah.
these types, like this period of our Arsenal life. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, 'cause
journey.
it's just all come together, and the fans, the manager, the players, everyone's just won. Like everyone,
Yeah.
there'd be no one out there now that's going Arteta out. Like I can't see what he's doing.
Nah.
You can clearly
Nah.
see what he's doing now.
Nah, there'll be no Arteta out calls.
But
bit easier on Arsenal TV.
I found Party was a bit sloppy. He needs to really work on his game. He gave away too many easy passes in the middle of the field, which could let us down against like the Liverpools, the Cities, Tottenhams, all that stuff. But overall, I thought it was probably the most excited I've been as an Arsenal fan in the last 6-7 seasons, because there's a clear directive of what's going on in the club and what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not a random win. You're
No.
actually building to that win, yeah.
And on top of it, like you've got the all or nothing season that's just come out. So
More
every
excitement.
Arsenal fan's watching that and like getting a gist of what actually goes on behind the scenes, what type of manager Arteta is behind closed doors, like all the players, what they're going through individually. Like a lot of people have come out and said, oh, like I probably shouldn't be so harsh on players now after watching all or nothing, what they go through, what they're going through.
That's
And-
a fantastic insight.
yeah,
isn't it?
and if that's
it
all
really
that comes
is.
out of all or nothing, that people for any team can decide to like go easy on the online abuse, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
There's far too much hate in that realm. Like
Oh.
people need to remember, like it's football, it's life, but like it's
Yeah.
it's still people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
without getting too deep and emotional.
no-
Like there doesn't
no
need to
doubt.
be the hate
That's right, yeah.
that's involved.
No
like hate
doubt.
each other on the pitch and on match day, and then like still realize you're all human beings
Yeah.
and just back off a bit.
For these guys, it's a job too. Remember?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, overall, super excited. I'm at that point now. I'm just excited for the next game. I know there's going to be
Buzzing,
losses
mate.
and there's going to be like shitty bits, but
You're back in love with football again.
I'm back in love with football.
You're not,
Finally,
you're not being abused by it.
finally. No,
It's a good partner
it's-
again.
Yeah, but
All right.
no.
It's not an Arsenal podcast. What have we got next?
Moving on.
Why don't we go to Aston Villa Everton?
Yeah, I watched that game.
How'd
Quick
you find
thoughts.
it?
First half was pretty.
Dour.
No, it just wasn't great, but like both teams were sort of in it with each other.
Yeah.
Felt like almost like a bit of. It was almost like a bit of a derby match in some of the.
Well, you had Gerrard
Would have been for Stevie, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, look, Aston Villa are going to be stoked with that. Although they did lose Carlos, the centre back that they bought from Sevilla.
Oh, he's out injured. He scored
Yeah.
a goal for him, didn't he?
I think no.
Oh no, he should have scored a goal. I'm pretty
no,
sure.
he's got a ruptured Achilles. Oh, so that's pretty much a season ender. So they won't be too happy with that, especially when he's been brought in to pretty much replace Mings.
Yep.
Or if not replace Mings, be like the starting
Yeah.
centre half.
Mings might be
Of the
starting
club.
match day 3.
I feel
Well,
like
he started that game, and I feel
did,
like
yeah.
they got bullied by Bournemouth opening day.
Yep.
And I feel like they've gone, that's not happening again
Yeah.
against Everton, and they've put Mingsy in, and to his credit, he did pretty well.
Yeah, nice. I feel like
So-
Everton really lacking a striker up top.
Oh, 100%.
They
They're
can't put the ball in the back of the net, unfortunately.
Big time. They got a huge game next weekend against Forest.
Oh, yes.
If they don't win that, if they get beaten on that, I swear
Yeah,
my call's coming
you're
true.
true.
Zero
Like,
from
yeah,
zero.
like, they're just, like, don't get me wrong, they were in that game in periods.
But they were in the Chelsea game too.
They're in it. That's what I mean. They're in games. They just now need to. That's where I think the striker comes in. Like,
But when does it
Yeah.
get to a point where you're that demoralised that you just can't get up for it?
well,
you know what I
that's
mean?
the problem. That's what they got to get
It's-
out of. And as
it's
Arsene Wenger
coming, isn't
always
it?
said, if you have a loss, the only objective next week is to not lose.
Yeah.
You can draw, you
Yeah.
can win, you want to win, but you can draw, you just can't. Especially like if you're fighting to get up there, like
Yeah.
you just can't lose the next game. That's how you keep the fans off your back as well. Because
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
they're going to have to start coming for Lampard soon if they don't. If they, as you said, if they lose to Forest, like that's big.
Yeah.
Well, they can't just be aiming for like, oh, we'll just avoid relegation again.
No.
Like it's Everton.
Yeah.
They're a big club, and their fans they
A couple of
deserve
seasons
more.
ago, mate, well, I think it was like 6 or 7 ago now, they were in a Champions League spot.
Well,
You
exactly. We seen
know?
that stat the other
Yep,
day.
they were always in
didn't
the top 8,
Yeah.
and now they're just
Yeah.
they got
Under
nothing.
David
Fucking
Moyes, like
piss.
they had a good culture,
Moyes
they had
we
a good
trust.
team, like they cared, they wanted it.
Had
They've
good
just
players.
lost that now, and I think that
Yeah.
like United, there is no confidence in that squad whatsoever. They don't go into the pitch thinking they're going to get a win.
No.
No.
They just hope they don't get demoralised.
Well, you got to hope
Please
that
don't.
they're going on there hoping they get a win. Because if they don't, they shouldn't be playing football.
Them and United
exactly
do not
right.
look like
No.
they think that they're going to win.
No, not at
Wow, that will be a match, won't it?
all. It will. It definitely will.
What's next?
We'll go Brighton. Newcastle was a 0-0 draw. Bit of a dour affair. If I
Yeah.
use that again, can I?
Sure.
You can, mate. You can
I didn't
use it
really-
as much as you want.
Unfortunately, Smitty, I didn't watch this one. Sorry, mate. It wasn't my cup of tea. Wasn't around for that one. Did anyone get any?
I watched the
highlights?
highlights, but I don't think either of them will be disappointed. I think
A point's good, I guess. Yeah.
Brighton have had a great start. Obviously, Newcastle have the
It's probably going to
momentum and
hurt
a lot of
Newcastle a
noise.
little bit more.
I'd say Newcastle would be one.
Yeah,
I don't know. Brighton just
they
went and
wouldn't
beat
mind it.
United.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they
away.
wouldn't
but
mind
that's
it
not
away.
hard as we've said.
Yeah, but in saying that,
Brighton are here, United are here. Come on.
yeah, but still, there's still that name of like
Yeah, exactly.
we went away and beat Man United,
Man, who?
and then they've come home for their opening home game of the season. Newcastle, it's a big trip down to Brighton.
Yeah.
They've come away with a point. I don't think that they'll be overly disappointed at that.
Nah, it's Well, obviously it was a fair result if that's the end result. City, another like
God
Just-
damn.
They
They're-
just
they're-
look scary.
They
They're,
are
they're a
scary.
juggernaut.
using that term a lot, but
When are they going to be stopped?
Yeah, like
I hope just someone stays with them until Christmas because I don't want another
Yeah, it's a bit
blowout,
boring when it
and then-
just like.
But
Look, it's
Away
only game 2, boys. There's still
Yeah,
hope.
come on,
There's-
come on.
They haven't faced the might of the Arsenal
Hopefully,
yet.
one of us in the room can
Please.
Can take
Well,
Man City.
that's
Please,
it.
Arsenal.
But it was also, I know that Bournemouth did Villa in their opening home game last week, but like, who looking at that and saying Bournemouth away to City didn't think that it was going to end up
Yeah,
in like a
exactly.
3-4-5-0.
No.
Mate, $1.
Can we
Exactly.
talk about KDB's goal? Wow.
That was
Freakish.
What a player, hey.
Just to think, I'm just
Technique.
going to, the technique to be like, I'm going to take this on my right foot, bend it.
He's a
with the
dream to
outside
watch.
of the
You
boot.
can't
The
hate
vision,
him.
the technique.
Yeah.
The audacity, though, eh? It's just
The
like,
audacity.
That is the
No
complete
respect for
opposite
Bournemouth.
of De Gea's level of confidence. De Bruyne's level up here.
Yeah.
Wait,
like-
but similar pay. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, City just absolutely dominated that game.
No
Yeah.
goals from Haaland, though.
No goals from Haaland, right? And he missed a sitter, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like he missed. I
But
think it
he's
was a
still
sitter.
important because he's dragging players away.
That's what they
You know?
said. Like
That's
he's
exactly
He's
right.
a magnet.
That's exactly. It's either like defenses now, like that's what makes City
Oh,
so
fuck.
scary.
Do we
now.
go for fucking Haaland
Well-
or KD? Damn it.
No, well, more in it. Yeah,
Got it wrong again, and it's 4-0.
but also in a sense of now they have that striker who every run wants to be on the shoulder making those runs,
yeah.
and now like defenses are going to be like,
Yeah, 'cause they
if
can
we
see that run coming, 'cause he
if
winds
we
up, doesn't he?
squeeze to try and stop City playing with the ball. We're going to have Haaland running over our shoulder.
Yeah.
And if we sit off because he's got pace and he's like physically
You got
just
KDB
a
running at ya.
machine, we're going to open up space for players like KDB, like Rodri,
And that's
Bernardo Silva to give space to play.
You don't want those players running at you.
That's what makes
can he
him
just
scary
go to
now.
Barcelona already?
Imagine KDB running at Harry Maguire. That's going to be a sight for sore eyes.
Harry Maguire.
I'd pay to see that.
I hate to say
He'd
it,
trip
but
over,
I
wouldn't he?
love watching him play.
Yeah.
I tune into them every week because I just love. It's like the poetry in motion. KDB, Haaland, love it.
At
So
their-
they're your second team.
Yeah.
No. I
Yuck.
despise
Did
that they've
just
won 4 out
admit
of
to have a
5 of the
second
last
team?
titles.
I think he did.
But I just like
City.
watching them. I used to love watch Hazard at Chelsea. They're just so good.
yeah, he's good.
Not Hazard at Madrid.
Southampton.
Who that?
Southampton Leeds. That was a good game.
We didn't think it was going to be, but
No, I thought it was going to be a bit of shithousery, but was it Leeds?
Leeds were 2-0 up.
2-0 up, and
Rodrigo.
Southampton come from behind.
Yeah. And it was good end-to-end football and in 35-degree heat.
Yes.
Wow.
That's like
So-
summer A-League weather that we
Yeah.
punish our players with. And they're over there on the south coast dealing
You'd
with it.
imagine them being bogged down in midfield, but as you said, though, end-to-end. Like,
It was a
no
good
holds
game,
barred.
yeah.
The drinks break obviously needed to be brought in for these games this weekend because
Yes.
of a bit of a heat wave. But, yeah, I think Leeds were probably disappointed to give that lead away
Oh,
for
totally.
sure. Like,
Oh, definitely. To
no
be 2-0
doubt.
up.
And it wasn't until like the 60th minute or something, I think, that they...
It was later on,
Yeah.
But it was two... I know the second goal from Southampton was cracker. The Kyle Walker-Peters goal.
Yeah, the Kyle Walker-Peters goal. Great finish.
He's a good player. I just think he lacks in physicality. He's small, but
He's
I guess
very small,
that's
yeah.
where you put
Small.
them. He's a right back. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, he's a right back, yeah. You'd probably be, considering your woes in the width of defence for Tottenham, you'd be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, we
He's-
shouldn't have sold him. Our wing backs are the only weakness, I think. in our
He's
team.
really good at selling
Yeah,
Kyle
did you
Walker.
just
though.
say
Sessegnom's all
Perisic?
right.
Yeah,
He's a weakness.
but we got rid of
It's a-
Walker Peters before we brought Perisic in.
Yeah, but I you just said the wing backs are a weakness.
They are.
Yeah.
So Perisic is a weakness.
He's
for
only
you.
played 60 minutes. Like, I can't tell yet, but Emerson Royale,
Quick
weakness.
to throw him in the bin, aren't you? Over there, Jesus.
I'd throw
Hey,
Royale
I'm
in the
trying to
bin,
build
though.
a super team. I can't have any-
Perisic.
I can't
They've had
have
one game.
There ain't nothing Royale about Royale, I'll tell you.
Perisic, yeah, he hasn't started. He got brought on for Sun Heung-min.
Obviously, just
60th
not good
minute.
enough to cut it.
Why are we talking about Spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
moving
that's-
You've had your time.
Wondering why I was feeling sick. Wolves, Fulham, Dower affair, another
Oh,
one. I mean, I guess
Fulham would probably be pretty happy with their start to the season.
Yeah.
Mitrovic
Undefeated, like Liverpool.
Mitrovic, penalty saved.
penalty saved,
Yeah.
and it was a good save to be
Yeah.
fair.
Wasn't a great penalty, though, you'd say.
It wasn't a great penalty,
No.
no. And if you had him in fantasy, you'd be absolutely burning -1
Even.
because what
I'll touch on that later.
Forest, West Ham, that's a massive win for Forest.
First home game, as we said last week,
Yeah.
we touched on that. The
That's
fans
huge.
would be
They'll
up,
be
for,
up
it.
for it.
Forest keeper had a cracker
bladder.
of a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he saved a pen.
Yeah. He had a
Declan Rice, not a great pen, but
another nod. It was
Yeah.
pretty much the same as Mitrovic's, to be honest.
was.
Apparently,
Lower-
Declan Rice, like his stats on pens is pretty bad.
Yeah.
who did they used to have? West Ham had a better pen taker.
Mark Nolan.
What a
Noble.
Noble, yeah.
Mark Nolan.
Isn't that off?
Big legs.
show.
Mark Nolan.
Mike Nolan,
Antonio.
that's it.
Is he injured?
He has
Or-
to be because I don't think he played.
He normally starts up top. I think I had him in fantasy last year. He
True.
was
Their strikers
decent.
used to take their pens. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Rice take
They got
one.
like Lanzini, Ben Rama. Like they got a few players there that were probably better than. I don't know. Like
Anyway, the Forest keeper had kept them in that game. Like that was good for them.
Yeah.
First,
And they jagged that goal. He didn't know what
no
was
one
going
knew
on
it.
there.
No one
Who
knew
cares?
what was happening.
I'll take it,
You
though.
take it all day.
Absolutely.
Lifted the roof off the place.
Which was good to see.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I did like seeing that. Like, Forest, like, I don't know anyone hates Forest, you know.
Well, you can't yet. I haven't
good-
seen enough
it's good
of
to
them.
see.
I was only born in '91. So I don't know who they are. All right, that's all the games for the round. Not a bad round. We'll move on to who we thought the player of the round was. We're going to go player of the round, but you can't pick your own team. So this is going to be tough. Who would like to kick off the proceedings? Jake,
I'll kick off.
who are you going for?
Jesus, mate.
Of course,
come on.
how can you not?
boys stay together.
Opening his account. Absolutely, mate.
All right, Rhea, we may as well.
Opening the account, scoring me 19 points in fantasy.
True.
True.
You can't argue with it, really. He was on fire.
Yeah.
Literally on fire. No one wanted to touch him.
Nah.
Had spiders on him, some would say. Yeah, all right. That's a good call. Beef.
This hurts me because of the Spurs hate I caught from this side of the table. But Gabriel Jesus.
Another
Is that
one.
his first name? Gabriel.
Gabriel.
How many Gabriels do you have?
Three.
Three.
Three of the best. Gabby.
Nudo?
De Gea, I thought. No,
What a player around De Gea. Well done, mate. Keep that that form up. We love it.
Flog of the
We
week.
love it.
we can't all say the same bloke, so I'll go with Rodrigo. I think
Rodrigo?
Well, he got a brace against Southampton, and like they are since they've sold Rafinha to Barcelona,
Yeah.
even though
Man.
he can't be registered or whatever. That we'll wait about a La Liga podcast. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
But yeah, I just think like they Leeds need someone to step up and fill that void, and he's gone and got a brace. They'll be disappointed, as we said, to draw 2-2 after being 2-0 up. But
Yep.
yeah, I'll give him player of the round.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. I like that.
On to you, J-Man.
Me, I'm going to go with Luis Diaz for Liverpool.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Smoky.
for me, scored that goal. As you said, like before, he wasn't really in the game up until
first half
then.
wasn't great.
But Nunes getting sent off lifted him. And for
Yeah.
that last 20, 25 minutes, he was
He wanted
just,
something, didn't he?
He was going into midfield to pick the ball up and he'd just go at him again and go at him again.
That was a great goal.
Yeah,
Like,
put
skinning
a
five
cracker of a
people.
goal, yeah.
I think at one point the commentator actually said, like he did something in attack and then he tracked back and won the ball like
Yeah.
in our half, and then the commentator said, "Oh, Diaz is doing it all by himself."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
maybe
looked like
that's
that
right.
for a bit.
Yeah.
Salah who?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well...
See his blonde tips.
What's happening with Salah, boys? What's happening with Salah, boys? Can we just touch on that? Like,
Oh, you'll still get 20 goals, mate.
did someone say something about signing a bumper contract and then just going downhill? I don't know.
Mate,
was
it's
that-
been 2 games.
Oh, that just turned off again.
Fuck, why couldn't that have happened just a little bit earlier?
In 2 games, but 2 games I'm onto something. All right.
Don't listen to him.
All right, that's our players of the round. Let's move on to how we all went in our fantasy, lads. I think there was some great results here, some really good ones.
Some 62s.
Yeah. Well, you want to start us off, Jake? How'd you go, mate?
Sure, mate. Snag 62.
That's a good score. Good score.
Well done,
Thank
mate.
you, Jesus.
Yes, I think most people would have him.
Total of 116, so not tracking too bad for once.
116. That's a pretty good score, I'd say.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Maybe because we're on the same.
So Jake, top scorer and disappointing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Top scorer in fantasy.
Yeah, for you, your team.
Did you do your pre-work, Jake?
Jesus.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah,
brother?
nah, Jesus.
We spoke
Jesus
about
for
this in
sure.
the green room.
Jesus,
Jesus.
with the 19. I don't know if anyone captained him. That would have been a great captain.
And my lowest score was Darwin Núñez.
yeah, what do you get? -2?
-2, yeah.
Suck shit.
Nasty.
Hey,
Because it was just before the 60, wasn't it? I didn't even get that point.
Yeah, no, yeah.
God damn it.
All right, I got 62 as well. I'm on the same amount of points as Jake. My top score was also Jesus with 19. Wish I captained him. My worst, though, is something I'm going to have to work on. I don't know how I'm going to get him out. I got Bailey from Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And he's just, well, I thought he might, add something to the start of the season, but he's not doing anything. And
Take a -4, mate.
I thought
Every
United players were going to be a steal. I thought surely they're not going to be that bad, because their price goes off
might get Maguire.
their price goes off last year's form. So I had Rashford. And he's not their worst player. Don't get me wrong, but if
no.
they're going to keep playing like that, he's got to go.
I got Sancho, mate.
He's got to go. Big.
I agree. He does have to go in the bin. I got 67 in my fantasy.
All right, mate.
My top scorer was also Jesus with 19, and my low score was Coutinho with 0.
Did he not play?
No, he did, but he got a yellow card, and then he went off injured.
Yeah, nice. Got to go.
So yeah, he'll be getting subbed out. But
That's
I
a
didn't
move
do a
you gotta make,
transfer
yeah.
game week 1 because I thought I'll save 2 because
Nice.
sometimes I find it's easier if you have the 2 to
Yeah, it is a lot easier to
yeah, because you
maneuver
can juggle
players.
things a bit more.
Yeah, someone might agree with that.
Taking it. Yeah, Beef, how did you go, man? I think your score was really good.
My team is an absolute dumpster fire, honestly. I came
Tell
second
us about
last
your
year,
high
and
score
this is
then,
just disgraceful.
Or just
Let's not talk about last year.
26 this week. Almost what Jesus got on his own. Mitrovic got me -1.
Yeah.
good.
My high score was 5. 5. Erling Haaland.
Did you bring him in?
You didn't even captain him.
No, I captained Salah. He got 1.
Mate, I told you all. He's going
man.
downhill.
And my disappointing player is, I called this in EP1, but Perisic, he doesn't start. I don't know why I still have him.
Yeah, I've still got him too. That's stupid.
My bench is
Me
just
also.
4 zeros. I don't know what I'm going to do, man.
You might.
You're gonna have to wild card early, bro.
Hey,
You don't want to fall
it's all right
behind.
for an early wild card though, because
Yeah.
you get an extra one this year. You get unlimited transfers during the World Cup.
Yeah.
So pretty much get 3 wild. I shouldn't have told anyone that. But pretty much get 3 wild cards. This
Or
year.
you could just do all your changes and forget the wild card.
Yeah, please do that. That'd be funny.
Be -40.
And shout out to John Clark, who joined the Average Aussies Fantasy. He's actually winning now. So
Clarky.
well done,
Yeah,
John.
on your Clarky.
Yeah, don't forget to join, guys, because the more players, it's going to make it more exciting.
Here's the code here.
These are the choice you're looking for.
All right, we'll quickly go through the round next week. The opening game is Tottenham Wolves.
Yep, early game. I'm going to miss it, but we're going to win. That's all I need to say.
Is that all you got?
2 or 3-0. Like, I don't want to
talk
make a
about-
big call because
2 or 3-0?
I fucked up my Chelsea call. So 2 or 3-0. Wolves are dreadful. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. Oh,
It could be a game, eh?
It could be. It could be a game. I just don't know about Aston Villa. Like, we've put big tickets on them, and they're just not really performing. Crystal Palace have lost one, drew one. They're not playing bad though.
No,
They're-
like that, they didn't do terribly against you guys opening
Nah.
round, and they did well against us. So I'd probably back them in that game, to be honest.
Yep.
Like Villa will be happy with their result against Everton.
I'm going
but-
to go Villa.
Yeah.
I reckon they got it.
No, I'm going Crystal Palace at home all day. As we said in the first podcast, Crystal Palace at home is like
That's their
12th man.
points. Yeah.
That's their points, baby. Everton, Forest. Forest
Go
are going
the
to win this
Forest.
4-0.
Big call. That could happen.
Big ups to
I'm looking
Andrew
forward to
Craig
this.
and Dane Brooks.
I might watch the mini match. I think it'll be a good match.
Any of you Everton fans that are watching Everton at the moment,
They're all plastic.
I
mate.
want to feel sorry for you. It's going to be tough for you, and I reckon for
Everton and United fans, we send our love.
yeah. Now that'll be a
sending
game.
our love out.
It's very
to,
hard for
to those guys.
Liverpool fans to send their love to Everton and United.
Yeah, no. Fulham, Brentford.
Mighty Bees, mate.
Skip.
Mighty Bees.
Yeah, let's go Brentford. Up with a bit of confidence, just trouncing
Why-
United.
Can I ask, why are we skipping this game? Brentford have just done United 4-0. It's a London derby. They're
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
They that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Well, you just want to skip it because it's not
Yeah.
Spurs.
No comment.
Fulham couldn't even
Are you-
score against Wolves,
Are
mate.
you a football fan?
No comment. It's boring. Fulham Brentford, please.
Why is it
How is
boring?
it boring?
It's football.
Brentford-
It's Premier League football.
It's what we love, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree with Nudo here. Brentford are a well-drilled side. I like their manager. They're playing good football.
Scotty Parker's got Fulham looking decent.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. We'll see what Mitrovic can do, hey? Maybe if he gets a pen, he can bury this one.
Maybe.
Look forward to that 0-0 draw.
Oh, big call. All
Wait,
right.
let's put a bet on it right now.
Oh,
Throw a carton
We
down.
don't endorse any financial betting on this.
Six pack of OP rums that it won't be 0-0.
is he taking it? Is he taking it? No,
You
can't
just
take
said
it.
nil or
He's
draw.
made a
You gotta
call and he
call
doesn't
it-
even
you got
back
to
it.
call a score.
Or,
That's like a
so
million
if
to
hold
one.
on, so if I get the score on, you get a six pack.
That's what you just. that was your
His is
turn.
0-0. What's yours?
What's mine?
Not 0-0.
Not 0-0.
It can't even be a bet because they can both lose. So
2-1.
this is why we don't endorse gambling, everyone, because we don't
2-1
know
to
how to do
Brentford.
it.
Always gamble the feature.
2-1 to Brentford.
2-1 to Brentford. Big
Yeah.
call. Leicester, Southampton. Leicester weren't bad against us, to be honest, and Southampton come from behind against Leeds, and I reckon that'll be a good game.
Yeah,
Leicester.
Vardy.
Leicester need to win. Obviously, we keep saying that every week. But
Everyone
Leicester,
needs to win, don't they?
Leicester are coming off 2 losses.
I can't remember. Someone needs to look at their notes from the opening round.
I don't even know who they had. Yeah, I don't even have it here.
They didn't win.
It might have been a draw or something. How good are we?
Average.
weeks ago,
We're
mate.
fucking average.
Yeah, this is why we're the average Aussies.
Bournemouth, Arsenal. For me, that's Arsenal all day. I'm calling 3-0, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty confident, that one.
Yeah, well, that's the games we need to win. As I say every week, we need to win all the games because we're going to come first. So
But it is the games you need to win.
Yeah,
away to
away-
a promoted side.
Yeah.
You've
winning
got to
away
be winning
from home
them.
anywhere. I don't care. I want points. But Bournemouth, we should be beating. Leeds, Chelsea.
You've got to back Chelsea in that one. I think that the game against Spurs would have really fired them up.
Yeah, I feel like they were hard done by in that game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We know.
well, I think everyone feels the same. No one likes Tottenham, man.
What do we think of Tottenham?
West Ham
If you like,
United.
if you like Tottenham, comment below.
That's why no one will comment on this video.
Tumbleweeds, mate.
West Ham United versus Brighton.
Roughy. I'm going to go Brighton.
Look, Brighton can beat West Ham United. And
Definitely. That game's a big 50-50. I
yeah.
don't think there's for me, there's not a solid favourite in that.
No, not at all. It should be a good game.
Yep.
Newcastle City. See, this is the sort of game where like Newcastle could do something.
They have
I hope they
done
do.
in the past.
They're at home.
They're at home. Like they got they're
John Joe.
Eddie Howe's doing a lot for him
Yeah.
there. Like in terms of
Bruno
well-drilled
Gamirez,
side.
if you're
Yep.
listening, please reach out to Smitty. He's got an invite for you to his wedding. You need to get there.
He's sending it through on Twitter all the time.
Tit up. Bum, bum.
Is that at a neutral time? Like for a neutral to watch?
I think it's
11?
it's 11 o'clock on Sunday night. I think.
Yeah,
Sunday
I'll
night.
be watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
It
got to
should-
get up early for work.
Should be a good game. And the last one, the Cellar Dwellers United
not
versus
least-
Liverpool.
Ah,
That's definitely least. Like, look, Liverpool United should be worried, should be concerned. If you're a
Look-
United fan, you're just dreading it.
Honestly, we need a win and a clean sheet.
for me, like the game against Palace, we played a hell of a lot better than Fulham.
Yep.
Than we played against Fulham. There's a lot that like we can take out of that game and be happy with. And we're always up for the United games and judging
Yeah.
off our 9-0
Especially last
aggregate
season.
score last year.
Yeah, let's add to that.
And their 5-1 aggregate score
Yeah.
against them this year
No.
already. They should be worried and hope. And as you say, these are the games we need to win. If you want to be title contenders, you got to go to your
Away
rivals
to
and take
United.
points,
You're
Yep.
taking points away at United.
especially
you're happy.
how they are right now.
But yeah, I just think all United supporters will be very, very concerned about that fixture. They
Hope
do
so.
not, because they got embarrassed by Brentford. Who knows what Liverpool can do them if they just don't show up? You
If we
just wanna
switch
hope
on,
they get up.
yeah.
They got to get up for that game. They're at home. Surely the crowd will help them. But anyway, that brings us to the end of the third episode of The Average Aussies. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you've made it this far, that means you've liked what we're doing. So please just like the video for us, give us a little comment and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out heaps.
Feel free to share it around to all your friends
Yeah.
and family and
Share
pets.
it around to your average Aussies. Don't forget on the socials, we got Instagram, we got Twitter, we got TikTok. I'll put all of them You might get that nice little graphic come up down the bottom again if I've got enough time. I'll put
Right
all the links to all those pages in our description along with the fantasy code. Please join. It'll be fun.
Someone beat Clarkie.
I promise you, it'll be fun. And yeah, we'll see you all next week on the Average Aussies. Thanks, boys.
So
Thanks,
Pleasure as
mate.
always.
See you later.
See you guys.
Catch us later.